Hello, Amber. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. We are here to review your post-conference on your lesson that you did on Friday.
Okay.
Your lesson was over the moon phases, and it had to do with your eighth grade science class.
Correct.
Um, in short, what I
Mhm.
saw you state the objective, which was the moon phases, and your student started with a card sort followed by Oreos,
Yeah.
which is exciting. Right. So let me begin. How do you think the lesson went overall?
Overall, I would say that it was an okay lesson. I think that it did not go the way I thought it should have or what I wanted to get out of it. I don't think my kids got out of it. I honestly don't think they were able to connect all the pieces that I wanted them to. This really was for a assessment, so it was just kind of being an interactive way to get them to express what they've learned over the last week. But I don't know, I think the Oreos kind of distracted them more than anything else. So overall, I'd probably say that I won't be doing this lesson again in the future, but I am glad that I was able to test it out and kind of gain that experience.
Interesting. One thing I'd like to commend you on is just going outside the box. I haven't seen this lesson. I've heard of this lesson, being from a science background.
Mhm.
I have heard of the lesson. I've never actually seen somebody do it. So congratulations and yay to you for getting it done.
Thank you.
I do think you might be your worst critic on this one because I think it actually went very well. Um, you want to start off with the card sort.
Mhm.
I do think that the card sort was a great fundamental to get them to go there to get to that base knowledge that they needed to learn. That being said, for reinforcement, uh, I really want to touch up on how the behavior of the classroom. So my question for you would be, how are your behavior and expectations in the classroom communicated and monitored?
So I'm very clear and direct with the students that, when we're doing a lab or any sort of activity for that matter, that they need to be engaged. They need to make sure that they're in their seats when they're supposed to. Talking is fine as long as they're, on task at all times. My students know that, once they get offhand and once they're not doing what they're supposed to, then we'll just shut the activity down and we won't continue. So I feel like, being very clear and direct with them, especially as eighth graders, has helped me to manage their behavior uh, for the lessons.
Right, right. I like how you grouped your students. How could you explain to me more on how you grouped your students?
So the students are grouped, a higher level student with a lower level student, just to kind of help balance and make sure, when our lower level students need that extra support, that they have somebody there that they can ask, without always kind of relying on me to be there and help them.
And
So I think, go
I,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to tell you, I really enjoyed during the card sort. Those seeing those higher level students help and build the base foundation of knowledge for the lower levels. So I
Yeah,
really did see that work to your benefit in this instance.
yeah. My kids do really kind of take on that role of being the assistant and kind of bringing that kid with them and not sort of like, oh, you don't understand, so I'm just gonna, leave you behind. I've got this by myself. They really do take on that teacher role in assisting, which I really do appreciate out of them.
Right, right. So out of curiosity, when your transition to Oreos, how do you think that went for you?
Systems are great in my classroom. So the kids don't have to get up, they don't have to move. I keep them at their station. So the card sort, the cards are already there for them. And they know when they're done with the cards to put them back in the Ziploc bag for the next period. So it helps me not have to run around in between, classes. But also once they've got that card sort ready, they've arranged everything that they needed to. I bring them the Oreos over, so they're not out of their seats, they're not moving. And that's something that I've prepped, in the morning before the kids even come. All the lab for the day is ready to go,
Right,
and
right,
it helps really like have a smooth day. So I'm not running around and trying to, get everything prepared quickly.
right. And I do think that works to your benefit because you do have exceptional classroom management.
Thank you.
It was hard to tell who was off task if anybody was off task. So I commend you on that. One area of reinforcement that I think we should work together on developing here is making the lesson engaging for all students. In this instance, you had a card sort followed by students creating the moon phases. How do you think this helped or affected your special populations such as ELLs and those individuals?
So I honestly think that, I could have done better with um, kind of modifying the lesson based on the needs of my students. Like for my ELLs, probably kind of giving them some proper vocab already, like, or having my moon phases maybe created for them so that all they had to do was arrange them. And then for my special education students, maybe kind of giving them those like 4 main ones and then letting them fill in the others so that they're not, kind of struggling to do all 8 by themselves.
Right.
Even having that, higher level partner, I still think it was a little overwhelming. So I would say that, for sure I needed to differentiate this lesson and kind of modify it based on the individual needs of my kids, which I did not, do.
I do like your idea of creating such a maybe like a manipulative chart with moon phases. That's a really good idea to help assist your ELLs and special pops to understand and grasp the knowledge. Give them something tangible for them to hold.
Right.
So I do really encourage that. Great idea. One thing that I do want to recommend is maybe ELL development that we can work together. I could go to a development with you and assist you, and we can work on that together. And also visiting your peers' classrooms just to kind of see what they're doing to assist with the ELLs and special populations to try to get them. I did really enjoy the lesson. I think it was an amazing lesson. Like I told you before, being able to go outside the box and something different, because I like, again, I've seen this, I've heard this lesson, but I've never seen it. I think for the first time going out of the box, I think it went very well.
Thank you.
I like how you organized it again with the card sort, and I also like how your procedures just let you execute and make transitions from one phase to another, and it's honestly seamless. So I encourage you to keep growing, and I think you're doing very well with these kids. And even though you think it wasn't that great of a lesson, I think it was really good. It allowed the kids to hold what seemed to be a moon and create the different moon phases. I did see them biting a little bit too hard, right? But it's something the students will do. But don't let that defeat you, because I mean, being able to go outside the box is what's allowing these kids to learn more and more each and every day.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think overall, you're an awesome teacher. You're amazing. We love having you on the team. And anything you need from us, we're here to support and to help you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good one, and we'll see you later.